This is New School Marketing Podcast for real estate pros, where the very best of real estate reveal their latest systems and strategies. With your host, Marlon Aquino.
All right, what's up, guys? We are here. We have another live Q&A with a special guest that I'm extremely excited to bring on. He's sold over 100 homes every year since 2014. He's got 2 books. He's got a podcast. He's got a coaching program where he charges nothing for real estate agents looking to start, regardless of where you're at in your journey. So extremely excited to have him on our podcast, Ricky Carruth.
What's up? What's up?
This is awesome. Thank you for hopping on here. I have a digital agency. I work with agents, and as you know, the success rate is very small. And I wanted to hopefully bring you on here and shed some light on how you succeed. So if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and obviously why we should listen to you, because I know.
So I don't know if you should listen to me or not.
They should. They should.
But yeah, I grew up roofing houses with my father. I've been everything in the world, man, under the sun. I've had every kind of job you could think of, from, working in restaurants as a cook, as a busser, as a server, landscaping, building houses, oil rigs. But anyway, I got in real estate when I was 18 years ago. Man, it's been a roller coaster. I made $1 million before I was 23. I lost it all in the crash. Yeah, I lost every penny in the crash, and then went back to roofing houses, worked on an oil rig, sleeping in my car, and got back in real estate in 2008. It took me 6 years from there to take what I learned through the crash and get to where I was selling 100 properties a year. And I've been selling 100 properties a year ever since 2014. So this is the 7th year in a row as a single agent. And I wrote 2 books a couple years ago, started coaching for free. I've got the fastest growing real estate coaching program in the world, and I speak all over the world. And man, I'm just having fun, really. So, I built like an automatic real estate business, whereas all I do is a weekly email and I sell 100 properties a year. I don't do social media. I don't do cold calling. I don't do direct mail, any of that at this point. Of course, I had to do a lot of that to get where I am.
Yeah.
So that's a real automatic business. My coaching business is pretty automatic, 0 to diamond. It's really reshaping the industry. It has doubled and tripled thousands of agents' income year over year. And so, yeah, I'm in a really good place, man, and just having fun and just trying to give back to the industry to try to share with people things that I wish I would have known, when I was starting out.
Yeah, no, and I got to say, I was listening to one of your podcasts, and there was that one gentleman that hopped on and did your script from like speckless. It was you were even blown away by how well he did it. And I got to tell you, one of the things when I got into business for myself was that I realized the biggest factor was mindset, getting yourself to do the hard thing. Yeah. And that one guy blew me away because you're offering things for free. And I was listening to this, the $1 billion guy, the billion dollar man. I forgot what's his name, but he said that I've given all my knowledge for free, and I've only seen maybe if that 1% take advantage of it, and that blows me away.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. But here's the funny part. It wouldn't matter if 100% of the people took advantage of it. Okay, because business is 1,000,000% unlimited for everyone. You can't do it all, right? So trust me, man, if one entity or one person could do all the business, I would have already figured out how to do every single transaction in the world by myself, and no agent would even exist right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's true. It comes from a scarcity mindset, I think. But I wanted to talk to you actually about that, because my dad, my mom, they were in real estate, right before 2007, when the collapse happened. Everything went sour in real estate. But my dad ended up moving on to another business, but he saw it coming. He saw the ethics that was going on that wasn't happening in the business, and he kind of saw it happening. So he was preparing for it. But he said that he had many friends that ended up moving back with their moms, with their parents, lost everything. And, at that point it was very hard for a lot of people, including my family. It was a big transition to move, from one industry to another and start from scratch. But you've done this. But my thing is, you actually went back. What was it that drove you to want to get back in the game, give it another shot? And obviously it seemed like it worked out, but that's not easy to do.
Well, man, it just goes like that. That's who I am, man. That's my character. Like I'm always going to go this way. So like if I get knocked down to the bottom, I can't help that. But from the bottom, I'm going to continue moving up. And if I'm right here, I'm going to continue trying to get higher. I'm never going to quit trying to go higher. You know what I mean? And if I get knocked down to the bottom, that doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to get back up and keep trying to move forward from there. You know what I mean? Try to learn my lessons. Why did I get knocked down? What happened? Hey, you can't worry about the things that you can't control. You know what I mean? You just have to worry about the things you can control, whereas your daily habits. Too many people are worried about their results, how much money they're going to make this year, next year, how many sales they make. I don't even look at that. You know what I mean? I'm totally focused on what I'm doing day to day, how much effort I'm putting in. I don't care about the results. I just want to make sure I'm busy all day long, trying to do everything that I can do to help as many people as I can buy and sell real estate, succeed in real estate, so on and so forth. And whatever I get done is what I get done. I can't do any more than I can do. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. A lot of people, they work all day and then they want to do more, so they work till midnight and they're just trying to get more and more and more. It's like, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
And so
you don't overwhelm yourself with not getting things done at the end of the day, that you had on your schedule or whatnot.
What you need to do, man, is you need to take a short little meeting with yourself about 3 or 4 o'clock, and find those key points in your day that you have to get done before 5 o'clock to make sure that you fulfilled all your promises. And then everything else, just move it over to the next day. Yeah. I'll tell you a good book, man, The Slight Edge, right? If you can get your hands on a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, I promise you it's life-changing.
And in your experience, you're obviously coaching, I think you said, do you know how many members you've got? I think you said it's one of the fastest growing coaching groups you have. So
well over 30,000. It's like 32,000.
And let me ask you, in your experience, what seems to be the biggest pitfall for most agents? What's the kryptonite that keeps them from really having the success that can be done?
Well, man, everybody wants to know the secret. They want to know how to do it, but nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants to know how to do it, even if it's the hard work part. It's just like, what are the activities? What do you do day to day? What do you, how do you do this? How do you build a business? What do you say? What are the actions? What are the steps? They want to know it. They read the books, they watch the videos, but then they don't do it. It boggles me. So I would say the biggest challenge is they just paralyze themselves and they just don't move forward with trying to succeed. It's like they know what to do. You have zero excuse with me because I lay it all out for you for free. I tell you exactly what to do, step by step. Every day I'm telling you and I'm sharing with you what I do on a day-to-day basis. I have a complete program set up for you to go in there and, look at what I do day to day, step by step. I mean, it's up to you to just do it,
And you're coming from a point where you're not afraid to lose that business because they're not paying you. I think for like you're saying, most coaches, they want to keep you on. So they'll watch what they're saying to make sure that, you stick around, but you're going to let them have it. So.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of coaches try to hold back the real diamonds in the rough of their knowledge so that they have something to pay for. There's no secrets, man. There's no diamonds. It's all a mirage,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just dive in there, man. Like the next thing is confidence. Agents lack a lot of confidence in themselves, in the business, in people in general. They don't think they go into listing appointments and making phone calls thinking nobody wants to do business with them. Nobody wants to even use a real estate agent at all. And it's so far from the truth. It's just so far from the truth, you know? So
Yeah, I think that's a big factor, which is why I think, from what I've experienced the last couple months, we work with a brokerage out of San Diego, but just recently I started working with agents individually, and I find that they're looking for the shiny object. Not it's like you're saying, you produce the numbers that you do, but you do the hard things and you do them every day. And I know for a fact, because I come from sales, call reluctant is a huge and real thing. And I remember listening to one of Zig Ziglar's speeches where he said that those that didn't have call reluctant made, I think, $40,000 more than those that did have call reluctant but had the same education, the same background. It was just that they weren't afraid to make the phone call, get it, and do the hard stuff.
yeah,
Like I always said, the hard stuff is usually the right thing to do. So
it takes a lot of work to get off the ground. It takes a lot of work to get a social media, account off the ground. But once you get to a really good place, it takes very little effort to just keep that momentum going. You know what I mean? So
I actually want to get into that with you because you have close to 300,000 on Instagram, close to 20,000 on Facebook, and over 45K on YouTube. I mean, how do you make that leap from making your first video to, that, like you said, building up this momentum?
Man, it just take it day by day, man. Just one video at a time. You just try to get better and better. I remember when I first started YouTube, and I was getting like 50 to 100 views per video for like 100 videos, and each video takes a lot of effort, and I'm doing 100, 200 videos, and they're getting like 100 views. And I was like, well, that's 100 people. I kept saying to myself, well, that's 100 people. That's good. I kept thinking, that's 100 people. That's good. And, now, like on average, I probably get about maybe 2,000 views a video, which still isn't a lot when you think about YouTube and you think about the whole scheme of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's all perspective, but it's still 2,000 people. That's why I keep saying to myself, it's still 2,000 people. You know what I mean? So no matter where you are in your social media journey, even if you're only getting 5 people, think that is 5 people, great, and just build on that, build the 10, build the 20, and just keep going. We all.
Yeah, you can find one. You can find one other just like that one. Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's an unlimited abyss out there. You can't talk to everybody. You can't, put your content in front of every single person on earth. There's always somebody that hasn't seen you. There's huge people. There's Gary V's and Casey Neistat and
you're talking about Maddie. You were talking about
There's big social media influencers, and I'll ask people that I know, hey, have you heard of Gary? Have you heard of Casey? And they're like, who is that? They're so huge, but yet I'm telling you, the world is so big that there are always someone who hasn't seen. I don't care how big you get. There's always someone who hasn't seen your content, and there's always room to grow. So it's our job to just continue to grow and to continue to inspire and continue to try to help people. That's just our job as humans.
Yeah, no. It certainly is a motivating driver. I was gonna say, does it ever become a load? Because do you have a team that does the editing, the video, or you handle that while you're also managing real estate and your personal, public speaking gigs?
I have some guys that edit a lot of it. I edit maybe 5 or 10% of it. I post 100% of it.
Did you always have someone edit it, or did you do some of that yourself?
I edited all of it for a long time.
Okay.
I edited all of it for a long time, and then I brought a guy on, and he edited, and then I've brought other people on over the years and stuff. So
it takes off from there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got editors in place, and I've got people that help me do things, but I post everything. Every single post is me posting, is me commenting, is me answering DMs, is me. That's me. So it does take a lot, but hey,
Yeah.
right now I'm at that midway point right now where, I'm right on the brink. And if I just keep pushing and just keep answering and keep posting and keep replying and stuff, then, I'm going to get where I want to be. I'm not quite where I want to be, but I'm on my way. And if I keep working hard, I'll get there. You know what I
That's
mean?
interesting. I actually want to get into that real quick because I know that you asked Ryan Serhan. You said, "Listen, you've got everything you could want. What's keeping you in the game?" So for you, what's that thing that you're chasing?
Just to reach my full potential, man. You know,
Do you
just
think you'll ever get there? They're like, I arrived, or is just
not
what's
for
keeping
me.
you?
Eventually I will. Eventually I will. I don't know where that'll be. I don't know, man. Like for me, I feel like there'll be a place when, I have impacted so many people and I'm making so much money, just mailbox money kind of deal. I mean, I could call it a day right now, with where I am financially, but I'm not where I really want to be. I want to be so far ahead. And when I get to that point, I'm telling you, man, I just want to write books and speak. I have like 10 really good book ideas and I can't touch it because I'm so busy selling properties and, running my businesses. You know what I mean? So, I feel like when I have arrived is going to be the day where all I have to really worry about is nothing, number one. And number two, hanging out with my daughter. And number three, writing a couple pages of my book that's coming out later that year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, does it ever become an issue, like a work-life balance when it comes to family and all these things that you've got going on? Because I know I personally, I've got a girlfriend I've been with for about 8 years. We're gonna take that big step already, but with obviously acting, starting a business, that becomes a thing. And how do you manage that? Because obviously they understand, I'm sure, but sometimes, I had a friend say something like, well, what if, you're thinking that you're going to do this so that you're well in your 50s and you don't have to worry about it. But what if you don't get to your 50s? What if you don't get to that and you're missing out on precious time? That hit me. And it was a deep thought. What are your thoughts on that?
But you have to be working towards something, though. You can't just say, "Oh, well, what if I die early?" I mean, you can't live your life like that. You know what I mean?
You do nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna focus. I'm not gonna make plans around dying early. Okay.
Yeah, you get to 50, you got nothing. What then?
Number one, yeah, that's first and foremost. I'm not planning on dying, anytime soon. And but if it happens, it happens. Like that's part of it. I mean, like yeah, unexpected things can happen, and if that happens, then you got bigger things to worry about than what you were doing in your 30s.
No, and in
But
that case, I think I remember telling my friend in that case, hopefully I've left them with something. I didn't know, I just lost a family member recently, and it's a first for me, but I didn't know it was so expensive to die. I said just to die is expensive. So it really hit me when I said, man, I got to work hard because I mean, having a kid and a family comes with a lot of responsibilities and pressures, even when you're not around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the way I do it, bro, is literally at 5 o'clock. I shut completely down from work. I forget about everything. That I just drop it all wherever I'm at. I just drop it, and I say to myself, "I'll deal with it tomorrow." And then I just hang out with the family and have some real quality time. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Real quality time. Really enjoy, that quality time, and that's kind of where I am, man. Like I'm in a place where at 5 o'clock I'm done. Whatever I got done, and then I'm gonna hang out with the fam, dude. Like I'm not, ain't nobody tell me nothing.
And that's amazing. So let me ask you real quick, because I know we don't keep this. We're almost done here. Just what are your thoughts when it comes to marketing? I know that you're not, like you said, you're not really doing much of it. What are your thoughts about it? Obviously, it seems I know a couple agents myself that are on the they're young. I would say the up and coming realtors are early 20s, and they're really using social media to obviously bring in leads. I think, obviously I had a friend agent that closed 7 out of 11 deals from Instagram. So there's obviously that, but you seem to be doing just fine without it. Is it just a pure work ethics, like you're saying, putting in the work, making those phone calls? Or you think that some of this personal branding stuff that you're doing is working and should other people be doing it too?
Hey, listen, man, that's the great thing about real estate. There's so many, everything works, man. There's so many different ways that you can succeed in real estate. So pick your lane, pick your lane. Your lane has to involve contacting people you never talked to, asking them how they're doing, how their day is, and, let them know you're in real estate and see if there's anything you can do to help them. And then grabbing their contact information to build that personal brand. I built my personal brand with a weekly email, which to me, a weekly email is social media. It's a place where I post consistent, original content. It's digital marketing / social media.
Least expensive.
Yeah, I mean, to me. So, dude. However, someone is good at contacting people and seeing what you can do to help them, and getting into these conversations, and I think it's great. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of agents in my coaching program who take what I do and apply it to social media. Like, my program is focused on 2 things. The nuts and bolts is phone calls and a weekly email. And the philosophy is relationships over transactions, and how to communicate with people. So how to communicate with people, they take that part of it and apply what I do in the communication side of my business and apply it to social media, and they absolutely crush it. I have several agents that are crushing it with social media using my philosophies behind how they communicate and what they're doing and how they're using social media. So, I like to think of the way I do it as, a philosophy behind what I'm doing. And then I have, hey, this is how I do it, using this philosophy. You can do it the way I do it, or you can go do it a different way, but you still have to adopt the philosophy, of relationships over transactions if you want to go big.
Yeah, no, I've heard that the last few days over and over in your podcast and in your videos, and it's standing out. I said, okay, this is a thing, and I can see I can see how that's taking you where you are. So awesome. I just had one other question, and that's just really, do you feel that, is there a reason behind obviously pushing as much as social media presence that you're doing, as far as the videos and now the speaking gigs? Like, what's the point of that? Is it just purely motivate other agents to get to your level, or is it just like you're saying, that part of you where you're, that's the next step for you as a personal growth?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the next level. See, when I think of my real estate business, I think this is a local business. When I think of my speaking, writing, and coaching business, I think this is global. So now it's like the next level for me is to build a global brand. You know what I mean? So that's what Zero to Diamond is. That's what Ricky Carruth is. It's a global brand as opposed to the local real estate brand. I'm actually building a global business now, that's a secondary business, off of my real estate business. And, that's the next step. And until I've completely dominated and, then I'll figure out what the next level is above that. You will watch me continue to move up the ladder of whatever ladder I'm going up. I'm going to continue to go higher and higher. I'll find that next level. And it may take me years to get to a place where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he is going to the next level, because that's how I am, man. I'm just a grinder. I'm a slow grinder. Like I'm a turtle. Like the slow and steady wins the race.
I've always compared myself. Yeah.
No one ever sees me coming. No one ever sees me coming, and then I just come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden I'm the best in the world. It's happened time and time again with things that I do. So
I love that.
Yeah, I enjoy the process. I know I can look at who's the best at what I'm doing and say, I can do what he does and do it better. It's just a matter of time before I'm way above this person. And then I just execute on that for 5 years and see where we are.
Yeah, that's amazing. My father, when I spoke to him about coming out to LA and becoming an actor, you can imagine his feelings about that. But once he got serious, he took out his wallet. He showed me, he took out a piece of paper, and he said 2 things. He said, 1, he goes, this is my key to success. I'm like, a piece of paper? He goes, it's a goal list. He goes, I make it every year. When I wake up, I have a purpose. There's a reason for me to be up. I'm not wondering about around what I got to do or what it is. When I move on from one thing, I move on to the next. And then he said two things. Whatever you're trying to do, whoever you're trying to model, if they've got 5 fingers and 5 toes, just like you. Just remember that. He goes, we have a friend that has 6 toes. He goes, either way, he goes, they got 5 fingers, 5 toes, just like you. He was like, whatever they could do, you could do. And that just goes to show from what you're saying that shows in obviously everything that you're doing. So definitely thank you for coming on here. Could you tell us a little bit about where people can find you, any future speaking gigs or anywhere where they can go see you?
Yeah, man. Actually, we're doing a little virtual event, July 20th. Just go to the link in my bio in my Instagram.
Okay.
You can get tickets to that. It's only $50, man. It's an all-day event with me and Coach Michael Burt. We're also doing 2 live events in Naples and Atlanta that you get tickets to when you buy the virtual event. Nice. So there's a lot of value there. But on Instagram, YouTube, ZeroToDiamond.com, man. Any agent that's watching or even anybody in sales, period, can go to ZeroToDiamond.com and pick up something that I'm doing and get out there and succeed. It's literally free. There's scripts, there's videos, there's tutorials, there's everything that I do laid out on a platter for you to go out there and succeed. There's 0 excuses.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, Ricky, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here and answer some of our questions. Obviously, we wish you much more success, and we're going to definitely be following you and are rooting for you every step of the way. So thank you for coming on here. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Give me a shout.
All righty. Well, guys, thank you for hopping on here. Join us again next week for another Q&A. And of course, you guys are awesome. Keep rocking, keep thriving.